Hey Hearties, it's your girl Bryn here. Thanks for tuning in to my channel today, Mo's and May's Baby. And today I'm going to be on my way to the Amish store. I don't know if you have an Amish store where you live, but they have a lot of great stuff at this Amish store that I'm going to. They have grits, smoked different cheeses, and they even make little dog treats. And you know, for all of you that are just tuning in, I am was a divorced mother, single mother of 4 children. I have 12 grandchildren, and I have 2 grand dogs. Unfortunately, we have a family member that's quite sick. So my son flew into Atlanta last night and to my daughter's house, and they are going to drive up to see our dear loved one. Um, there's nothing more important than family. We got God, we got family, and you have friends. Family is also the people that we chose to have in our family. It's not, they might not be blood, but um, they are still considered family. So we really have to look out for each other. And last night I found out that my little god dog, I have 2 god dogs. My little god dog she'll be coming up, and it'll be her first time coming up. She's not even quite a year old yet. I'm gonna drop a little quick clip about her though, so you can see her in action. And when I tell you this little dog, she's a little Yorkie. She is so feisty, and she is she is spiteful. She'll do things just because she called herself upset. And so I found out she was coming, and I know the Amish store, they also sell homemade dog treats, and I was going to get some for my man MIKO anyway. So I'm like, let me go out here and see if they have some made up, um, so that I can get some from Nova. And um, and I also wanted to get. They have a lot of different kind of seasonings. Their seasons are all their stuff is delicious. They have their meats. They only sell meats on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They have fresh veggies. They have candy. They have chips. Their chips. They have just a lot of amazing stuff. So, which I will definitely give you a little tour once I get there. And yeah, so Nova's gonna be coming up, and I am so excited to have her. She's not a lovey-dovey kind of dog. She doesn't like to be held too much because she likes to run and jump, and she likes to play because she's still a little pup. And that's why I tell my daughter all the time, she's just a little puppy. She's just going to have fun. And her and my daughter go in on each other all the time. They always bickering. She's bickering with this little dog, and she swears she doesn't like the dog, but I know she loves the dog because she's always buying stuff for this dog. And Nova's a little sweetheart. But I'm definitely gonna, when she comes in, I'll do another little snippet, but they won't be in until a little bit later on today. So I'm gonna run these errands real quick, and I will show you what the Amish store has. And my little man MIKO, which MIKO is not really little, he's kind of a big dog. And what I can tell you about Mikos is that he has definitely restored my faith in man's best friend, because when I was a child, I was bitten by a dog, and it was a wild dog. We didn't know the dog, so therefore I had to get shots. And I can still remember getting those shots. And when they got Mikos, he was just a little puppy. And I had surgery on my shoulder when I tore my rotator cuff, and um, my son brought him over the next day to cook some breakfast for me, and he was just walking around, just trying to see what was going on, and my son kept, trying to get him, and I said, no, just let him roam around. And I ended up turning on the doggy TV for him. I didn't know anything about the doggy TV, of course, but I heard people at work talking about the doggy TV and how much, their dogs liked it. And so I turned on the doggy TV, and he laid on the floor, and he actually fell asleep listening to the music and stuff like that. And when I tell you, this dog is so protective of me, and I don't understand why. He was so overprotective of me. Like literally, when I would go over and we could all be outside standing, he would lay across my feet. And I know it had to be uncomfortable because he's on top of my shoes, and he would rear his head up and he would look around and as if he's saying, "Nobody come near this lady, or I will attack you." And so he was always really protective of me, and I would buy him his little toys, and what I would do is I would rub the toys on my skin, and that way he would know that I was the one that had was giving him the toy. And he just so and every time I go over, I pat him the whole time I'm there, and if I don't, he'll hit me with his paws and everything to try to get my attention. I'm like, man, I'm right here. And I can remember they were over when the my stove was delivered. I'll have to tell you about that. That was a nightmare when I got my stove. By the way, his name is John Henry. Um, but anyways, he was there, and the delivery man shook my hand, and this dog was about to tear him up, and we had to hold him back. And he's a collie shepherd, and he is tan, and he's got like the patch over one eye, the white over the one eye. He's a very very cute dog, but he loves his nana, and his nana loves him. And so I never take anything to the kids, my grandkids, unless I have something for him as well. I'm like, I always got to bring him something back. And I just love that little dog. And so I have always been afraid of dogs ever since I was bit. But like I said, he has definitely restored my faith in man's best friend. And then came little Novelle. I call her Novelle. Her name is Nova. And she is such a little spitfire. And I got to spend some time with her because I stayed down with my daughter in Georgia for 3 months during the winter months with my little granddaughter I was babysitting. And Nova, she was quite a little handful, but she's a funny little dog. She just is just a spitfire. Um, so and then my best friend, she has a Shih Tzu, and let me tell you, I went to stay with her when I first retired. I went and I stayed with her for like a week, and I guess we had went to the towel factory, and I guess we were gone a little bit too long. When we came back, that dog was barking at us, and he was like punching us in our knees with his little paws. I mean, he's just a little thing, so did there, and I'm like, is he fighting us? I said, okay, now don't be laying paws on me now, because I'll go and get my man MIKO. He's not gonna go for that. And they're just the cutest little thing. They have their own little personalities, just like human beings do. And I am finding that I have a love for them, and I'm actually seriously considering getting one for myself. The only thing that has stopped me um, from getting one is that I've had so many losses, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do if something happened to the dog that I fell in love with. I'm like, because MIKO and Nova is not mine, but I know if something happens to them, I would be devastated. And my son is so jealous of me and this dog's relationship. And he, he's called his siblings and say, Bobby Alex, she want a dog. She should get her own dog, but that's my dog. And I'm like, I can't help because your dog loves me. You know what I'm saying? The dog just loves me. I'm just lovable. But he is a very, very good dog. And I just love him. So I'm so excited to have them coming. I'm here today. But like I said, I'm on my way down to the Amish store, and I will definitely, be showing you what they have in store when we get there. So we are at the Amish store right now, and this is just what it looks like outside the Amish store. All kind of different gourds they have. Hi, how are you? Got some corn there right here. These are, oh, Mr. Doctor. Okay, this is what I wanted. I don't know how I missed this. So this is their doggy treats aisle. So I am gonna have to pick out a few things for Miss Novell. Bone shaped soft jerky, bone shaped soft jerky. They got this looks like something she would like. I'm sorry, I'm just so I've got some jerky right there. So maybe I'll get them both some jerky. MIKO is a bigger dog though, and they have little bagels they can chew on. Mm, Nova might like this. They got the nutty peanutty bites. So I'll do a haul once I get home to show you what I end up getting. These are all the different seasonings they have on this wall. This is their soup aisle. Macaroni aisle, spaghetti, sauces. And these are the grits, a bag of grits. This is their homemade soap. I haven't tried it yet though, but maybe one day I will. I know it's honey and oats. It's really good. Mm. Okay, so this is their candy section. And they have brownies as well. I'm gonna pick out a couple of things for my granddaughters that are coming. But yeah, they look like they got a lot of good stuff. Actually, I've had those before. They're not bad. Yeah. hmm Well, everything's gone up now. When I was No, it's not. It's not. Because they used to be like 22, but prices have gone up. But they were worth it though, because I mean, they were still pretty meaty. We've got the smoked Gouda right here. So I'm gonna need a couple of these. I wonder if that's the same. I don't know if it's the same. This is Yancey's. Let me see if they got some of their own. I've never had that one before, so I'm gonna just get the one. Some smoked Gouda. They also have their fresh bakery items. I'm gonna grab some bread. So a funny little story about MIKO says the one time my daughter had came home for a visit, and my son came over, and I said, "Well, make sure you bring MIKO's because he's part of the family too." So they come over, and I had made some oxtails, and Shamika says to MIKO, "Man, you're looking kind of thin. What's the matter? You're not eating." So I was like, "Well, Mo, you know." Um, and so I was just like, Maylin was just like, well, it's his own fault because he's not eating. And I'm like, well, he doesn't like the food that you eat, that you make, Mo, anymore. And he was just like, nah, I've been working so much, I haven't had time to make his food. And so I told her, my granddaughter, I said, Rose, go in there and wash your hands and give him a couple of those oxtails, that I had cooked up. And he ate those up, and he went in that kitchen and he was looking for some more. So I'm like, okay, go give him a couple more. And then everybody was complaining, oh my gosh, he gonna eat all the oxtails. Mama gonna let him eat all the oxtails. So he had like four ox. He only had like five or so. And then so the last, I was in the kitchen washing a few dishes, and he comes in there with those pretty brown eyes of his, just looking at me. And I'm like, listen here, man. Now I'm gonna give you one more oxtail, and you don't come back. I said, because they already talking trash about these oxtails. So I'm going to give you one more little oxtail, and then you got to go sit down. Don't ask for any more. And so I did. I gave him one more little oxtail. He went in there, and he took it in the living room there, and my daughter was like, "Oh, Miko so found him another bone or something underneath the couch or something." And they were like, "Unless mommy gave him another one." I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. That he must have had that one already. Already. But by the time when it was time for him to go home, he did not want to go home. They was pulling him and stuff. And I was like, oh man, listen, now you gotta go, because if you don't go, they're not gonna let you come back. And he acted like he knew what I was talking about. And so he left, and of course, he came back. The other day he came over, and he went right for the kitchen. I was like, man, Nana didn't cook anything today, though. He was just like, I see some stuff on the island, but there's nothing on, no pots on the stove. So he just turned around and came right back out. And my daughter said, of course he was. He was looking for some more oxtails. If I was eating oxtails too, I'd go right to the kitchen too. So that's just a funny little tidbit about MIKO. And Nova, like I said, she is just such a little spitfire. I can remember remember the one. So they had bought her like this little playpen thing with the top on it. Of course, Nova had learned how to get out of the little playpen thing. And when they first bought it, they were looking at it, and I said, I think you might want to get the taller one. And they was just, oh, she can't jump that high. I'm thinking, I've watched Nova. Nova's going to be able to jump out of that thing in no time at all. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, Nova was jumping out of the playpen. And so they ended up buying a top for it. So she'll have a lot of room, to move around during the day while everybody was working. Well, of course, she managed to find her way out of that as well. And my granddaughter she just be in tears and stuff saying, I don't know what's wrong with my dog. Why is my dog so crazy? But Nova's like, you're not going to contain me. So when she was doing little bad things, I guess the vet had told them that, she had to go on like timeout so that she would learn. And so they would put her back in the little black cage. And so Bree had some chips in her bed. So Nova jumps in the bed, eats the chips, and then lets herself in the little bat cage. So she knew she was in trouble, but I guess she said it was worth it. And it just goes to show how much personalities, an animal can have. And I am learning to appreciate them a little bit more. And like I said, I'm really, really considering it. Somebody had posted a couple days ago that they had little Yorkies, teacups, and I was really, really, really considering it, and they had them at a really, really good price too. So Nova, poor little thing. Um, so what my little niece, my great niece actually, she had brought her little dog over to play with Nova as a play date. And I think the little dog was so nervous. He had an accident at the house and stuff like that. And so my daughter had FaceTime me so that I could see their interaction when Nova first saw him. And she came and he had pooped and peed on the carpet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Nova is not going to have that. No, she is not going to have anybody peeing and pooping on her carpet. So, of course, she comes running down the stairs, and the first thing she do, she slaps this little dog with her paw. I mean, she's a Yorkie, but she's not. She's 7 pounds. But TJ is a lot smaller than she was, and now TJ is terribly afraid of her now. But now she wants to play with TJ. But I guess she was letting him know, hey, this is my territory. If I can't poop and pee on the carpet here, you definitely can't come over here pooping and peeing in my territory. And so, like I said, these little dogs have so much personality and they are just so fun to watch. And definitely, I'm going to upload. I have a lot of videos of Nova's, but I just have some photos of me and Nico's. But I can get a video of him as well and put up so that you will see my two little doggies that I'm crazy about. So I have made it back from the Amish store, and this is just some of the stuff that I got. I got some buttermilk. I got a couple seasonings. As you can see, I have some dog treats for my grand dogs. I even got them a little toy. Some more seasonings. Like they come in those little square packs. I got a couple bags of shrimp. And I'm going to thaw some of those shrimps out today. And I'm going to do a cooking video. I'm going to do some grits. I ended up getting some grits. From there, I'm going to do that with some smoked Gouda. Now, I've had this smoked Gouda before from the deli. I have never had the one from Yancey's. So I'm going to see how it works out. I think I'm going to use the Yancey one today and see how well that does. And I got some lunch meat, which I don't buy a lot of the lunch meat because most is just me and some, but it doesn't seem to last long, and I think that's because it doesn't have all those preservatives and things like that in it. So we're going to have a sandwich today, and I got some breakfast sausage. I got a little wine here, and this is for my granddaughters. They're coming, and I like to, sometimes they like to take a nice spa bath, because I have that, I did some remodeling last year, and I have a claw foot bathtub, and I got the nice bar set up for them. So I ended up getting some chocolates from there, as you can see. And then I'll have this on the bar with them, and with a little glass of the grape juice that looks like wine and stuff like that. And so I got some chew toys as well. I got Nova her little bagel, because she's a small dog and Miko's is a bigger dog. So I got this for them. And I got this seafood batter mix. I've never used it before, but I'm going to try it today on the fish. I have some catfish fillets that I'm going to cook a little later today for us. And like I said, the little doggy treats right here. I'm going to split the bags in half and give them each half of this bag. And I got some oxtail. It's not a whole lot, but it's just enough, because when I went down to Georgia, there was this place called Uncle John's, and Uncle John had on his breakfast menu, he had grits and oxtails, and I thought it would be good to have it with the smoked Gouda grits as well with the oxtails. And I like to curry my oxtails with black beans and corn, so stay tuned for that episode, because it's going to be coming up. I'm going to be doing that one Sunday for a Sunday dinner. But yeah, this is the stuff that I got, and it was like $200, so not bad, all things considering, all the stuff that I got from there. But so I'm going to put this away for now. And like I always say, never, until next time, never let them steal your joy, and let's just live our best life. Peace.